So this video is going to explain some of the essential formulas and conversions that you need to be able to answer speed, distance and time questions correctly. These are the types of things I'd be writing down on the front of my exam in an exam, but you certainly need to know them off by heart. The first one is our speed, distance, time triangle, which works by covering up the letters. So if I want to work out the average speed, I cover up speed, and speed equals distance divided by time. If I want to find out time, I cover up time, and time equals distance divided by speed. And finally, if I want to work out distance, I cover up distance, distance equals speed times time. So here I've written them down for us. And remembering all three off by heart is harder than remembering that triangle and then being able to use it. So the triangle is the most important thing, but here they are written out. Speed equals distance divided by time. Time equals distance divided by speed. And distance equals speed times time. Now, where do they come from? You might ask. Well, speed can be measured in miles per hour. And another way of writing per is divide, miles divided by hour. So I'm going to write that as a fraction, miles divided by hour or hours, and that is our speed, distance, time, because miles is distance and hours is our time. So we've got speed equals distance divided by time, and from that we can work out every other equation. Let me show you. So if I want to work out distance, I can manipulate the equation by getting rid of time here, or divide by time. I'm going to times both sides by time, and I get speed times time equals what's left on its own, distance. So from here I've times both sides by time. Distance divided by time times time just leaves you with distance, and speed times time is the same as speed times time. So distance equals speed times time. And then from here, if I want to work out time, I need to get rid of the speed time, so I'm going to divide by speed. Pen's not working very well. From both sides, that gets rid of the speed here. Time equals distance divided by speed. So I've divided both sides by speed to get time equals distance divided by speed. Time equals distance divided by speed. And they have three equations. The next thing you need to know is how to convert hours, minutes and seconds. Actually isn't too difficult. It's fairly self-explanatory here. If I give myself a simple ratio or conversion from 1 hour to minutes, well, we know that 1 hour is 60 minutes. And so how have I gone from hours to minutes? Well, I've times by 60. And that's the conversion for everything. So 2 hours is 2 times 60, 128 minutes. And to go back, if I need to go from minutes, if I'm given minutes, I need to find out hours, I do the inverse. So that is not times by 60, the inverse of that is divide by 60. 60 divided by 60 is 1. And if I need to go to seconds, well, we know that 1 minute is 60 seconds. That's again another times by 60 conversion. So 60 minutes times 60 is 3,600 seconds. The common error is people thinking that it's 360 seconds. It's not, it's 3,600. And we can put through a few more that we know here. So 1 hour is 60 minutes, we know, which is 3,600. I'll leave seconds for now because that's all we need to know. 2 hours, as I've said, is 120 minutes. But let's go decimal hours. So if I have 30 minutes, I know that's half an hour. Well, half an hour as a decimal is 0.5. And if I type into my calculator 30 divided by 60, I'm going to get, there's my half, which is 0.5. we should also know that 15 minutes is a quarter of an hour. If it was 15 minutes past 6 o'clock, it would be quarter past 6. So 50 minutes is quarter of an hour, which is, as a decimal, 0.25. And again, I could use my calculator to work that out. 15 divided by 60 equals a quarter, which is 0.25. So very simply, all I've got to do to go from minutes to hours is divide by 60 and vice versa. So if I have 0.25 hours, decimal hours, 0.25 hours times by 60, that gets me my minutes, 15 minutes. So all you need to remember there is to go from hours to minutes, it's times 60, and to go from minutes to hours, it's the inverse, divide by 60. Okay, converting speeds. So we've got kilometers per hour here to meters per second, and I've done, to make it simple mathematically, 36 miles per hour is 10 meters per second. The conversion, all you need to really remember is 3.6. And I'll show you why in a minute it's 3.6, but the conversion is 3.6. You think, am I going to divide by 3.6 or am I going to times by 3.6? Well, let's just times by 3.6. 36 times 3.6 equals 130 to three significant figures. So is 36 kilometers the same as 130 meters per second? Well, 130 meters per second, that's incredibly fast. And 36 kilometers per hour, that's speed limit down the high street. It can't be that. So you therefore know that it should be divide. 36 divided by 3.6 equals our 10 meters per second. It just fits right. I often think, I just look at my distances, kilometers to meters. Meters are smaller than kilometers, so I'm going to divide. That's what I use to help me. But where does this come from, this 3.6? Well, the 3 and the 6 actually comes from the 3 and the 6 from the seconds here, because when I convert from hours to seconds, I times by 3,600. There's the 3 and the 6, and that's where it's from. And I'll show you here. If we go from meters to kilometers, if I have 1,000 meters, I need to divide by 1,000 to convert it into kilometers. And if I'm going from seconds to hours, I need to divide by 3,600 as shown here. So then we have actually a fraction. We're dividing by 1,000 over 3,600. And using our knowledge of fractions, that's the same as inverting the operation and inverting the fraction. So the 3,600 goes on the top and the 1,000 goes on the bottom. And then all I've got to do is simplify. So divide top and bottom by 100. That gets me 36 by 10. And we're timesing, aren't we? There we are. And then divide by 10 again, and I get 3.6 over 1, which is the same as just timesing by the numerator times by 3.6. So to go from meters per second to kilometers, I've got to times by 3.6. I realise I've used the wrong colour there. And the other way around, kilometers per hour to meters per second. Well, kilometers to meters, we're timesing by 1,000, and from hours to seconds, we're timesing by 3,600. We put that as a fraction, so we are timesing by 1,000 over 3,600, and you can see it's just going to be the reverse of this above. It's going to be the same as knock the zeros off, divide by 100, 10 times by 10 over 36, which is the same as times 1 over 3.6. And again, if we just flip that round, invert the operation, divide, invert the fraction, we've got divide by 3.6 over 1, which is the same as divide by 3.6. So when you go from kilometres to meters, it's divide by 3.6. Very complicated to have to work it out from that. In an exam, if you had to do that, you'd be wasting loads of time. So you really have to just remember that the conversion is 3.6, and going from kilometres to meters, you're dividing, and meters per second to kilometres per hour, you are timesing by 3.6.